What's going on? Welcome back to Daily Boosted. So today I have a replacement car which I'm using while my car in the shop, and it's had the mud flaps just sitting at the back just like this. And to take them off you gotta undo the screws which are right behind the wheel. So I was trying to do it with the screwdriver, which is too long. So what I ended up doing, I ended up taking the whole entire wheel off the car, so jacking it up, taking the wheel off, taking all the nuts off. But only later I realized that it was not necessary, because if you look inside the kit here, they have a little bar which just sits right there, and you can actually use that bar to unscrew everything, and I'll show you that in a sec. Just look at that stupid thing. All this effort, I could have just used that. And that definitely makes everything so much easier. Look, it fits in there perfectly and everything like that. So, nice trick to learn. Alright, back to the video. Alright guys, so we're gonna go and get coffee after we wash the car. That was a fair bit of fun, I suppose. So we're gonna talk about what's the difference between the VF and the VF. So I own the VF Maloo, and it's a really nice car. I got a lot of extra features, but this is just as nice as a car. There are only a few things which I don't like about this, especially going from the Ute to the sedan, because I've been driving this during my car being in the workshop, getting all the stuff done to it, is that when you play around and try to open your windows, especially your driver side front window, you always go for the back one when you don't look. So you always open that one first, and then you open your actual window you try to open. I think besides that, everything else is pretty sweet. So as the interior goes, interior is really cool. Instead of silver chrome, they use black. I kind of like that. It's not as shiny and not in your face. It's nice. Obviously it's a 6-cylinder, and 6 cylinders are amazing. I've been driving this car for a week and I only used like a quarter of the tank, whereas in my other car I would probably go through whole entire tank. So that's really freaking amazing. When it comes to driving, obviously it's not as fast, but then you wouldn't want to, because it's a daily driven car as well, and it's more of a budget car, I suppose. It's nice. I really like it. It doesn't have as much of the pickup as the Maloo, and obviously it's probably punching around 160 kilowatts. I'm not really sure. I'll have to have a look. It's also pretty nice having all this space. I haven't used it yet. I don't usually use it. I haven't actually cleaned it because nobody sits there ever. So that's, you know, another thing. You just have a lot of extra space at the back in case you have more friends than just one. This car is also really good for being really quiet, so I can almost not hear the engine when the car is stationary. It does have a little bit of kick to it when you do go, but it definitely doesn't throw you into the seat like you're not expecting it. Another thing with this car, it's got awesome 360 view. I mean, in the ute, you can look behind, you can try and check your sides, and you won't be able to see it because you got bigger pillars, you have nothing literally behind you. So when you do your checks, you're literally looking into blocked space. So here you can actually see what's going on around you, which is really helpful. As you can see right now, we're at the lights and you cannot hear the car until you start driving forward. Another great thing about this car, you can be more relaxed while you're driving it. In my car, I tend to look around a lot. I do that now because I suppose it's a habit now, but you always check your mirrors like you're supposed to. But you do it all the time. You always look for other cars, trying to make sure nobody drives into you, especially being an expensive car. So I suppose this is also will be pretty expensive to fix if somebody drives into it. However, it's less powerful, it's easy to drive, it's more forgiving. You can literally press your foot to the accelerator and you won't go wildly spinning your real tires and just go sideways. This car have a lot more control over it when it comes to that. And yeah, you can just, you know, drive more relaxed. It doesn't have quick acceleration. The brakes not as good. I would definitely not recommend putting lots of power into the car like this. I think SS brakes, which is V8, is also come with the same package, and it's not really that, you know, great, because comparing these brakes to the brakes I have on my Maloo, it's totally different. They're not as grippy, and you can feel the brakes work a lot harder to actually stop, and it is really noticeable. So back to the style of driving, because you're driving expensive car, a lot of people try to be an idiots around you as well. A lot of people try to race you or try and accelerate as fast as they can past you, which is sometimes, you know, fun to watch, and they do have cars which sound really nice, but you never have problems like this in this car. However, when you try to merge in a nice car, if you notice or not, a lot of people will stay back or let you in. They have more appreciation for it. But when you're in a common car like this one, what I noticed when I try to merge, people accelerate, cut you off, and they have no time for you, I suppose. So this is another thing, how people behave to different cars, if you noticed or not. Alright, so we're stationary again, and the car is not shaking like my car is. It's quiet. The only reason I don't have music playing because I want to talk to you so you can hear me really well. But yeah, the car is really nice. I suppose it's a good time to talk about my car history. For all my driving, believe it or not, it's all been done in Commodores. I started learning how to drive in VE SS Commodore, which was lowered. It was manual, and it was just really difficult to drive because all the dips, any bumps, you gotta go around them or you gotta go on the angle. Otherwise the car would scrape, your exhaust would make terrible noise on the concrete. It's a really slow process. Car behind you probably gets frustrated while you're doing 5 k's an hour over the bump, you know. But it was a low life, I suppose. And now I moved from that into a 6er because I was obviously on my P plates, and I was driving VZ Commodore. It had so much stuff done to it. I'll have a look if I can find pictures for it, but it was supercharged before I got it, and then supercharger obviously came off when the owner sold it to me. So the engine already had all the basic mods that P-plater can have. So I just wasted money on the stereo, body kit. I dropped so much money into it, and it was a fun car. It was definitely fun. And then now I moved into V8, the Maloo, and it's also a great car. And I spent all my money into the engine because I already done the phase where I put money into the body kit and paint the car and do, you know, all the little stuff on the outside. So now when I can put my money directly into having the quicker car, that's exactly what I've done. Another thing I just noticed, because I'm a stall converter, not many people talk about stall converter and how it affects you. I'm gonna do a video later on about my car when it's back, and I'll do a review, and it's gonna be awesome, promise. But having the stock stall converter, it's, you know, you don't appreciate how much of actual difference it is, because right now I'm sitting at 1000 RPM and the car is, you know, holding the revs and actually accelerating, whereas I would have to do like over 2000 RPM to actually go faster in my car, like a little bit faster. So yeah, I guess that's where the petrol goes. So it seems like more you drive this car, more opposite it is to what my car is. This car, fuel economy is great, it's quiet, it's not vibrating, shaking, you know, it's just a car which gets you from A to B, and it's great. Like, it's got all these comfort features, dual aircon, anything you can think of, with reverse camera and everything. And then you go to opposite scale of what my car is, barely daily driven, just because it's getting more and more expensive to drive it. But you just get to appreciate how different the cars are and how good they are in their own perspective. If I was gonna be driving a car like this, which is more of the daily use, and if I was at home more often and I was driving a lot more, it probably definitely would be the car which I would choose. And I just drove past the coffee shop which I'm going to, so I'll quickly throw a U-turn and we're gonna get some coffee. And believe it or not, I'm getting the caramel latte, not because I'm white, it's just because it actually tastes good. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. All right, here we come, the drive-through. The most horrible experience in a nice car, or any car to be honest, because most of the drive-throughs are just rubbish. Oh wow, these guys have dual drive-through. That's pretty cool. Is that? Yeah, cool. We got a right line. All right, this is a bit confusing. I've never been here. I usually go to different Zarafas, but this is it.
Up to Zarafas, make sure you're ready.
Hi, how are you? Can I please grab your caramel latte in Masai with extra coffee shot?
Masai caramel latte with a triple shot?
That's it.
No worries.
Thank you.
Just up to the second window.
Thank you very much. Have a good one. Alright, I didn't want to talk while we're ordering, because I would look like a Fruit Loop. But yeah, most of the time when I have to order stuff in my car, which is also really massive differences, I actually have to pull up to the window or the place where you order your food and turn off my car, because people cannot hear it and I can't hear them. So yeah, that was a different experience without turning off the car at all. And look, auto, you can literally drive and drink coffee. That's amazing. We'll be able to do that in manual, that's for sure. So my journey is coming to the end in this car. I'm going to return it on Monday, which is like a few days. So I thought I was going to do a quick video. I'll also do some drone footage as well to make it look nice, and it's good and sunny. I thought it was going to rain, but it's sunny and it's just good weather for recording. But the car is great, considering you can buy a second-hand car like that, probably under 30 grand now. It'd be silly not to. Definitely a great car to own. Alright, see you next time. So I almost forgot, last thing, which is totally funny thing ever. Whenever I try to start this car, or whenever, like, first few days, every single time I get in, I would try and start the car with the push button, but the push button is not there because it's not actual function on SV6s. And I actually thought I didn't grab the keys, because keys were in the car and I didn't have them. And I drove off after I got the car and I thought, where's the keys? I started looking in my pockets and couldn't find it. And then I called the person who I got the car from, and the key was just there inside the ignition. So big difference because in my car I don't actually get my keys out of the pocket ever. So alrighty, have a good one. Alright, there's a grandma on the left. I'm not gonna make eye contact, but I think she wants to race, so we're gonna give everything. That's it. This is the 6 power right there. Gonski smoked. She's got